Morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's Brian, Mr. SF Studios, working on the Camaro. Uh-oh, found another 38-year-old hose. Ancient brake hoses. Well, that's not going to fly, so that's coming off. We're going to do that right now. These are the basic tools you'll need to change the rear brake hose on the 85 Camaro disc brake unit. You'll need a 12mm open fluid wrench. You'll need a 10mm to bleed your brakes. You need a little screwdriver to pick off the copper washer. You'll need a torque wrench with 7/16, and you can also have another ratchet. I like to have a breaker bar in case the bolts are really tight, makes it easier, and a pair of vice grips just in case you can't turn the fitting on the line easily. You can resort to that. And it's nice to have a hammer for putting the clip in at the end. I have an open end. I made my own. This is I think it's a 12mm right there. And you just want to bust it loose. And if it doesn't turn, sometimes you gotta resort to a vice grips. This one might be a vice grip one. So vice grips work really good when the nuts are super tough, because you don't want to round these nuts. So you just tighten your vice grip and clamp it on, and then it'll come. See, it'll come. And that way you don't destroy your nut. Then you can just do the rest by hand probably, or go to the other wrench once it's loose. I've seen these nuts just mangled by shops, just rounded with a pair of pliers or something. I don't know what they use. That's why I do all these repairs myself now, because I don't trust shops. I've had my own stuff taken to shops where I pay a bunch of money and I get it back and it's all mangled. So to do it right, you just got to do it yourself, I guess. Put down a drip pan because there will be blood. There will be bleeding brake fluid. Now that one's totally loose, we can go under here and hit the banjo fitting. Okay, I got my 7/16 on the nut, and these are really tight. I think they're about 30 foot-pounds, so you might have to put an extension on your ratchet to give it a little more leverage. Just used my breaker bar and it came loose, so we're good. You may want to move your drip pan under it. You share the drippage. And up in there. Get that nut off. Yeah, I think brake hoses are one of the most neglected parts on cars. People just don't think about them. Because I've seen so many old cars with just ancient brake hoses. I don't know why mechanics are afraid to do this. Maybe because the fittings are tight or rusty and sometimes round. I don't know. But it's just one of those things that you gotta do. The brake manufacturers say every 6 years you should be checking your rubber hoses. Because rubber deteriorates with oxygen and heat. So, and they're inexpensive. So if you have any tools and any knowledge and any proclivity to wrench, it's a pretty simple repair. Got the bolt out. Now the hose is free. Whoop, there it is. And the other thing we got to do is pull this clip off to get the hose completely free. I just use it, squeeze it toward this little metal plate, and work it free. There you go. Now the hose is free. And bye bye, old dead hose. Goodbye. I don't miss you. So you can see here with the old hose and the new hose, the little wedge, you see the wedge, that has to go up underneath the caliper. And the kit comes with 2 new copper washers, so one goes on top, one goes on bottom, bolt goes through and up into the caliper. Might as well clean the threads of the banjo bolt fitting, bolt, whatever, your brake caliper fitting. Make sure those threads are nice. If you got a wire wheel on a Dremel, you could hit it with that, whatever. There we go. Bright, shiny bolt. So these hoses have little notches and they only go on one way. So get it where it goes. Just tighten this bolt down. Start it out by hand to make sure you're not cross-threading. And keep that little angle piece so that there's a nice even bend. Just snug it lightly for now. We'll torque it later. Get this started by hand. Wiggle this if you need to. That's why you don't put the clip on until you're done here. That way you don't cross-thread anything. This is perfect. It's going in great. Snug that down with the wrench when we get it tight. So I'm going to go wire wheel this too and shoot it probably silver. I got this nice and snug. It's not going anymore, so it's good. You don't want to round them. Torque wrench at 32. We just, there it is. It's tight. There you go. That just ensures that those little copper washers are crushed and that you don't have a leak there. The final thing to do is put this clip in and bleed the brakes. So that's pretty much how you put a rear brake hose on an 85 Camaro with disc brakes. Okay, thank you for watching. Remember, like and subscribe.